Peace and love, family.
Hey.
Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversation. Not popular.
Oh, but important.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
I was sitting there. Yeah, thank you. I am present.
Okay.
I was kind of trying to make sure my hair was okay. Yes, I am present. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yes. I am doing well. I'm super excited. Where are we at today?
We are in New York City. Hey, Fashion Week 2024.
Yes, here for Fashion Week 2024. And super excited. We flew in this morning.
That's right.
Yeah, we left out this morning. We got here this afternoon. So super excited to be here. And as you can see, we tried to make, oh gosh, honey, swing that part right there. Close. Can you swing that part right there?
We're not in the studio today.
Let's swing this part. Oh. Okay, yes. Bam. Okay. So we are not in our studio today. We are actually in a hotel in Brooklyn.
Right.
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn.
Yes. And
Brooklyn,
so,
stand up.
Yes. And so we try to hold to our...
Stay on schedule.
Yes, stay on schedule. And so we're doing our live here in New York, and we made do with what we have.
Right. It wasn't easy to bring y'all this content today. But we're dedicated.
Now, and please let us know if you can hear us okay. Can you hear us okay?
Put an ear in the chat.
Not an ear, honey.
You can hear us.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
My forehead shining.
Honey,
I mean,
listen.
Yeah, we're not in the studio.
Yeah,
we
we're going to make
y'all.
it work tonight.
Welcome to the show.
Shout out, I see a Miss D on live with us tonight, and Miss Sylvia. Hi, Miss Sylvia.
Welcome to the show.
How are you, beautiful? How are you ladies doing tonight?
We appreciate y'all being here.
Yeah.
I'm King George, a.k.a. Mr. Knowledge is Power.
Yes.
And this is my beautiful queen, my one and only.
Natalie Nicole.
Okay.
Natalie Nicole. And
we are in the building.
Yes. Excited to be here in do they still call it the Big Apple?
The Big Apple, they do.
Yes. So excited to be here. All right. So what are we getting into today? We're going to start with a quote?
Yeah, we'll start with a quote. And we advocate and encourage African American history year-round, not just in February.
Exactly, every day.
So yeah, make sure we're educating our family, our babies, our community year-round.
Every day. Mm-hmm.
So we got Marcus Garvey quote for y'all today.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of every opportunity. Where there is none, make it for yourself.
All right. I love that.
I love it.
And I think also I've heard that kind of stated with Napoleon Hill. You familiar with him?
I am.
Where there's no, whatever you create your circumstance.
Yeah.
I like that. Very good. So that's kind of like what we did today. We tried to make and create what we needed to make to make this happen today.
To bring y'all this content. So yeah, we hope that y'all, y'all recognize that.
Yes, and so we want to shout out our sponsors.
That's right. Tri-City Fatherhood Group.
Mm-hmm.
If you are having issues with child support, bank levies, your driver's license is being suspended, your passport is being denied, Tri-City Fatherhood Group is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And real quick, I just tell y'all this. For example, let's say that you had a mother, father, sister, brother who was very, very ill, sick, or even passed away, and they're overseas. Guess what? If your passport is denied, you can't go to the funeral. You can't go see about your loved ones. So just think about that for a second. That's one of the tragedies of child support. Again, TriCityFatherhood.com, child support relief. We appreciate our sponsor. Let's talk about RMA.
Yeah, and before we transition to that, I think we heard it must be a universal nationwide issue because in our ride to our hotel today, I heard something about child support. If you're in arrears, and you owe the government. Did they say the government?
They said the government.
You owe the government. You can pay between this time and that time. So, I mean, it is just out of control, really.
It's a sad situation and it's serious.
It's out of control, and at the root of it is tearing up families. It's destroying families, and that's what Tri-City Fatherhood Group is all about.
Right,
it's
education, coaching.
Yes, and bringing back the family together. Not allowing outside sources to tear the family apart.
Right, right. So yeah, if you didn't know, child support is federally funded. It's a for-profit business. So again, if you have any issues, questions dealing with child support relief, child support education, contact us at TriCityFatherhoodGroup.com. Instagram at Tri-City Fatherhood Group on Instagram. Facebook at Tri-City Fatherhood Group. Mm-hmm. So we want to thank also RMA for sponsoring this platform.
Role Model Academy, all things modeling and personal development, ages 7 and up, girls and boys, young and older. If you are interested in modeling as a career, check out their websites, their social media. And if you're interested in any form of personal development, interview, mocking skills, etiquette, business, and social, check them out. They have what you need. Role Model Academy.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. So let's get into the show.
All right, honey. So let me lay down the platform tonight. So on Wednesday nights, we do politics. We do city news.
Calendar.
Yes, community calendar.
Upcoming events.
And education. Yes,
right.
So those are the things we're going to get into tonight. I feel like it was something else you said you wanted to add, but I don't remember right now.
Okay. So again, bear with us. It was a difficult, well, not difficult, but it was a eventful day.
It was a beautiful day.
Oh, it was beautiful. How about the plane ride?
Our flight was wonderful.
It was.
I think maybe my best flight ever.
I think I had something to do with that.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, it was a great flight.
I think so too. It was a great flight.
It got a little bumpy.
Yeah, and now it was bumpy, but everybody was calm. And now, I fly, but I don't fly often. And so the last time I checked, you had to pay for drinks and you had to pay for snacks. Mm-hmm. And on this flight we took, they offered us free drinks and free snacks, and I was surprised. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it was a great flight. Landing was pretty good too. So yeah.
All right, which section we're gonna start with first?
We can start with community calendar. Everything that's coming up. A few events that we went to.
Okay.
Last week, we stopped at Dr. Marsh's Q&A campaign for his Q&A. Get to know,
Speak up.
Listen and learn was his discussion about getting to know him and what he's doing in the community, and then he wanted to hear about what the community wants from him or wants from the candidate. So
yeah, what the concerns or the issues are.
Right. Shout out to Roz's Cafe.
Yeah.
Buena Vista Road. If you don't know about her, go check her out. She's on Buena Vista Road for all your event. You want to have an event. You need catering, so get in touch with Roz's Cafe. Mm-hmm. Support African American businesses.
Yes, can't stress that enough.
Right.
So, Dr. Marsh is on a tour, so he's supposed to hit every district, right?
Right. I think
every district for a listen and learn. And so basically he wants to learn from the community. He wants to listen and learn from the community where the concerns are and what he can contribute as a candidate running for District 10 for City Council.
Right.
So please make sure you visit. I'm going to put the link in this podcast to his page so that you can check out the dates and times to show up and voice your concerns. Let your voice be heard as it regards your district and what you want to see in the City Council seat for District 10.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And let's see. I attended a Beauty is Our Stride Women's Empowerment. It was absolutely excellent. Oh my goodness. The best thing I've went to this year. Walked in. Mm-hmm. Atmosphere was wonderful. It was set. The praise and worship leader was wonderful. The women were wonderful. Oftentimes I'll share that you walk in and people are looking you up and down, or they're not smiling, or they're not happy. I can say that was not going on in this place at all. It was just filled with joy and filled with beautiful people inside and out. What an excellent women's empowerment, from the speakers to the panel. Just very genuine and very just beautiful. And I'm looking forward to going to it next year. This was my first time attending. I had not heard about it before, but I'm so glad I was in the building on this past Saturday? Past Saturday.
Yeah.
We also went to First African Baptist Church's history program they had.
Right.
Ooh, we learned so much.
We did.
Now, what was your favorite part about it?
I probably would have to say knowing that a lot of educators came out of First African Baptist Church that were involved in the school system.
Yeah.
And the struggles that they went through to be a part of the school board and be in a high position in the school system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the threats, you know, this was during the civil rights movement, and even before that, the constant threats on their lives. Some of them even left town because it was that serious.
Right.
So yeah, so that was something that I took away from, you know, just the hard work that our people put in so that we can be in positions and in places that we are in today.
Yes.
So yeah, we definitely, I know it's cliche, but we really do stand on the shoulders of giants.
We sure do.
From our community, so.
And to piggyback off of that, what was most like exciting to me is the living legends.
Right, they were in the building, yeah. So yeah.
Yes, like all that touched my heart. Like the first African American woman to work at the library, Terry.
Yes, Miss Mildred L. Terry. If y'all familiar with that in Columbus.
Yes, and it came with challenges.
Right.
And then you know, the other ladies that were in the building. Wow, like I just wanted to reach out and touch them, and I wanted to hug them, because it's like oftentimes we read about our heroes, we learn about our heroes, but they're not alive for us to like reach out and touch them. So it is amazing to have had those living legacies inside in the same building, in the same place.
Right.
It was a great program. Pastor Green did an excellent job. You know, discussing and going over the history of First African Baptist Church. Almost 200 years old, and that is amazing.
So shout out to Pastor Green, Lady Green, and FABC. We appreciate y'all.
Yes. And all of the beautiful people who came, who
showed
up.
Support, right.
Yes, it was wonderful, very nice. So we have events coming up this week. One particularly I know there is on the 13th.
Right.
Okay.
Which is Valentine's conversation at the Green Island Country Club. If you haven't gotten a ticket, or if you don't know anything about it, I think tickets might be still available. But we'll put that information in the comment section so y'all can, you know, get a ticket if you want to attend. That's on February 13th. I think it's at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Don't quote me.
Yes.
But yeah, I think there's still tickets available. So if y'all looking for something to do, it's for couples, a night out. If you don't have anything planned for Valentine's, it's a great event to come check out.
And if you're a fan of the Rileys, you know their names better than I do.
Right. Riley and Katasha.
They're over the Overflow Ministries.
Overflow. Shout out to Overflow.
Yeah, they're going to be on the panel speaking.
Right.
So that's why I'm excited to go. I'm excited to hear what they have to say. I know they have a marriage co. Like they have a podcast and they, you know, do ministry in that way with couples.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear what they have to say and to be in the building to attend that. And again, if you are a couple or if you're not a couple and you want to attend, please make sure you get your tickets. And then for all the future events, like if you would like to know what's going on in the city, give us your email, because we are sending out emails with local events that's going on weekly.
Right.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times a week, and we keep it updated as much as possible. So whatever you'd like for us to share, we can add that to what we have. But it's just a local place, a hub,
right?
Because there's so much going on in the community here in Columbus. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack sometimes.
Right.
And it's after the fact, like, I didn't know this was going on, or I didn't know this was available.
Right.
So we want to kind of bridge that gap and just make sure that if we can support everything that's going on in our community and just provide a location, a central location for people to be able to say, you know, check out what's going on. And then hopefully eventually one day we get to the point where we're not scheduling things all at the same time,
right,
you know, because you want to be able to support everybody. But you can't be in one place, more than one place at one time.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'll put that link in the in this comments area as well for the events. And if you have events that you'd like for us to share on our platform, please let us know. As well as if you'd like to be on our email list, please let us know as well, so we can add you to that email list. So that's what we have for events.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about next?
Let's talk about the importance of, real quick, just the importance of being registered to vote.
Ooh.
Making sure your voice is heard.
So we transition into politics then.
Right. Because
okay.
We had a conversation with my parents the other day, and they were saying that they didn't get their
absentee.
They didn't get their absentee ballot.
Right.
So, some of these things are happening, and it's best that you make sure that you have things in order so that you can, go out and vote and you don't have any issues.
Right.
When you get to the polls. So
and
whether it be absentee or whether you actually show up to vote in person. So we just want to put that out there.
And we don't want to wait to the last minute.
Right.
Voters registration deadline is February 12th. That's in person, online, and through the mail. And so it's 411voters.org. You can find out all the information you need for Georgia. And I'll put that link in this podcast comments as well. There's just absolutely no excuse for us not to be registered to vote. There is no excuse for us not to vote. We need to show up and we need to vote. And that's how our voices are heard. And that's how we get people in office who represent us and who speak for us. And if they're not, then we need to get them out.
Right.
Quickly.
That's good. That's good. Also, if you missed our last show, we did talk about reparations or Special Order number 15. If you're not familiar with that, that's the order that President Lincoln put in, that he signed for the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves. But if you didn't see that show, go check that show out. But the reason I brought that up is because I want people to know that I did some more research, which is up to date. And what I found was the majority of people that don't look like us don't want us to have reparations. So we're spending our money with them. We're patronizing them. We're giving them all our dollars, and they don't want us to have reparations.
And when we say other, that does not just mean Caucasian people. That means the Hispanic people. That means the Asian community.
Right.
They have voted, and they don't want it.
They don't want it.
Okay? And that's typically what happens when something is not hitting home for you, and if it's not bothering you, you don't want to support it.
Right.
So.
Right. So.
I'm not sure why they have a say in the first place, but.
Exactly, but I think we just did a poll just to put a feeler out there. But so those were the statistics. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know 77% of our people want reparations.
Yes.
And then I think they went next to, I think either the Hispanic community or Asian community. But I think there was like 44% or something like that. They don't want us to have reparations. But the point is, they don't want us to have reparations, period, point blank. So, I just wanted to put that out there just to let y'all know that, we have to support each other. Only we can change our narrative. Only we can come together to, put us in a better position to control our economics, our politics, and our own community.
Right.
So, again,
and we have to join the discussion.
Right. The importance of supporting African American owned businesses, small businesses, and just uniting, period. So.
And that you said that because we also, in a conversation, we talked about, people listened and they said, well, we understand the importance of supporting our own businesses.
Right.
However, customer service.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's not good.
It's poor. Attitudes, things of that nature. So join in on the discussion. Like, what do you think about that? Like, what do you think the solution is? Because I agree that some places where you pull up and, it could be across the board, but I would prefer that in this area that we could improve, that we can improve.
Right. It can use some work, but, and it will improve. So.
But how? So put in the comments, like, what do you think about customer service from African American people? And what are your suggestions on how we can work to improve it? Because honestly, sometimes I just feel like we don't care. Like, we're comfortable, we're satisfied, and you get it or you don't type situations in some areas. And so, what are your thoughts? How do you feel? What's your experience with customer service, and what would be your suggestions? Because listen, you can go to places like universities and technical schools, and people will sit on their phone and have personal conversations and have you wait for hours or minutes or whatever and not help you.
Right.
That's poor customer service.
Right.
So,
we got to do better.
Yeah.
And we will. You know what I mean? We will. We got to continue to put the word out, and it'll get better. It'll improve.
And what I understood the person saying that was communicating with us is that we had a standard. The standard was high,
right,
and it's just going down the drain.
Right, but that has a lot to do with the deterioration of our community and the family unit.
Yes.
So,
I agree. That
village is not together anymore like it used to be. And like you said, I feel like people are comfortable nowadays in our community. So that too contributes to the issue, because if you think about it, our people had to be together.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just affecting some of our people, it was affecting all of our people.
And they had pride. They had pride in how they carried themselves and what they achieved and what they accomplished.
Right.
And that part to me is going bye-bye. It's going bye-bye. And I don't know if it is because of the trends of what we watch on TV and what, celebrities present as what's normal and okay, but it is definitely going down the drain.
Right.
And we kind of talked about the fact too that, a lot of us look to celebrities, like that they set the example or, of how we should conduct ourselves. So, I provided the example of, we love her, Queen B, Beyonce. Now, like, if you listen to some of her CDs, good, it's ratchet. Some of the words, the cuss words, things that are coming out are not appropriate. And so our young ladies are listening to this. They're modeling this. They're walking around, I'm a savage and I'm a this and I'm a that. But then I look at her beautiful young lady, Blue Ivy, who's on the stage with her, fully covered, fully dressed. She's not cursing. They even put a video out where Beyonce is correcting her and molding and mentoring and teaching her how to communicate and talk well or how to behave.
Yeah. So
the standards are different. What is being portrayed and projected to our kids and they listen to over and over and over and then they show up in the world like is not the same standard for Blue Ivy.
Right.
So I think we really need to pay attention to that.
Yeah. And it starts at home. So, of course, we know that celebrities are not, they're supposed to be role models, but in essence, they're entertainers. So, it starts at home first.
Right.
That's where the first role model comes into your life, in your home. So
that's where teaching begins.
Right,
Your first teacher is at home.
So we got to get back to that village.
But most times, that's where the void is. The teaching is not happening. The role model is not there. It's the TV. It's the rappers. It's the celebrities that are molding our children. And like I said, this is art and entertainment for them.
Right.
It's not real life, and it's not how they raise their own children. So we have to be mindful because we have a generation of children that's going down the drain.
Unfortunately.
At the expense of entertainment. Raising them.
Right. So we all got to do our part to to bring our family and community back together.
And we're on politics, right? We still on politics?
Yeah. What you want to?
So yes, we talked about the fact that we have 3 candidates running.
Right.
So we are doing our research because it was brought to our attention that some people are in a position that they're not getting out. They're not able to get out, so they're home, and they have no idea who the candidates are, what they plan to contribute to the community, what they do. And so put it in the comments, join the discussion, like what's your suggestions for that? We went to pages, right?
We did.
We went to pages. And
they weren't easy to find.
Right. And so if you're running for a position, I feel like your information should be readily available for everybody in every level of person so that they can understand and get a good idea of who they want to vote for. Right.
And if you're watching this, put it in the chat or put in the comments if you're familiar with an easier way to find out, what platform the candidates are on, or if their information is, available. So,
have you already made your decision? Do you already know who you're voting for?
Right.
And what's that process like for you? Do you just like, I know this person, I'm going to support this person? Or have you actually read through, their bios and their resume to see exactly what they plan to contribute and how they plan to serve? That's so very much important, because what we've also heard is that people get elected into office and then they forget about the people.
Right.
They forget about the people. They vote how they want to vote, and they do not consider, they do not keep appointments, do not hold appointments, do not answer phones. All of this as a public service is a no-go.
Right.
It's a no-go.
That's right.
And so that comes with making intentional decisions with regard who, I can't get it out.
Just
we're going to
breathe.
vote for.
Just breathe.
Yes. Who we're going to vote for. So one person's page I went to, they haven't posted much of anything on there. So I can't even begin to think to take that person seriously.
So you can get in the frame.
Come on, honey, I'm good.
I just want to make sure.
To take that person seriously as a candidate. Okay?
Right.
And then when I reached out to ask if they were planning to, you can do it virtual, you can do it in person, let people find out more about you.
Right.
It's going on 48 hours. I haven't heard anything back. So I honestly, in my opinion, I can't take that candidate seriously.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then the other two candidates, there's information there. One candidate is doing a listen and learn tour. The other candidate, I've seen a lot of videos of people who have endorsed the person. I read the resumes, and what I discussed with George is like, okay, I'm glad you were on a board. I'm glad you're on this board.
Right.
I'm glad you served on this committee. But what are your results?
As far as being in the community and being in the trenches, so that's a good question.
Yeah. What are your results?
Yeah.
What exactly have you contributed to? What changes have come about because you're on these boards and committees and different, statuses of things? What exactly have you contributed?
Right. And what say you who are watching, what do y'all think about, we say politics as usual or grandstanding where people show up. And we've seen movies where, they show up to kiss babies and sign autographs and take pictures.
Yes, to
only
say I
around
was
the
here.
time. Yeah,
yes.
Only around the time that, that they're campaigning. So that's not something that we're interested in. Our people are suffering. Our babies are dying at an alarming rate. So it's time out for these picture taking and photo ops and grandstanding. It's time out for that.
Yeah.
This is a serious situation, what's going on in our community. And again, only we can change it.
Right.
Only we can change it. But we can't have somebody in there who's just in there just for popularity, or who's just in there just to put it on their resume or as a stepping stone or whatever the case may be. We need people in there, whether it be men and women, who are going to, take it seriously and who really want to change the circumstances that are affecting our people.
Right.
So,
and who's going to listen to the people.
Right.
And I can't stop enough. We attended this Emancipation Proclamation, and standing on business was the theme.
Standing on business.
And speaking truth to power.
That's right.
Those things resonate with me very much, and that's what I'm looking for in a candidate. I'm not looking for someone who's ambitious to just have, this title or this position. Right. I really want to see boots hit the ground, changes, and that you're not afraid to get in the community, no matter where it's at, in the trenches with the community and bring about change. That's really what I want to see in a candidate. Right.
So, and we want to collaborate with anybody who has the same mindset of changing our circumstances, being boots on the ground, serious about changing the circumstances in our community. So, if you're part of an organization, or if you definitely want to be a part of what we're doing, which is the benefit and the betterment of our community, reach out to us, DM us, shoot us an email, put it in the chat, and we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So, and real quick before I forget, this is a side note of something you mentioned earlier. that we want to start doing is we want to start adding in little healthy tips.
There it is.
Yeah, throughout on Wednesdays, we're going to start adding in healthy tips and health advice, that can help you live a healthier lifestyle. So one thing that I like to do, and we both love to work out and, hit the gym, but, green tea, the importance of drinking water, of course. You need water more than you need anything. So water. And I also found out if you can get your water, it's better to drink it out of a glass bottle than a plastic bottle because they say, cancer is linked to drinking out of a plastic bottle.
Wow.
So because of the chemicals that they use to make these plastic bottles and these bottled waters, they just sit in these warehouses until it's time for them to be shipped. So these chemicals are getting into the water. So that's just one tip I wanted to put out there. Another one was local raw honey. Shout out to the Rileys.
Yay.
They're beekeepers, if y'all didn't know, at Overflow. So if you have allergies, really bad allergies, a great cure or a great thing to help you with allergies is raw honey. But you got to get it, and you got to start adding it to whether it be your tea or whether it be whatever you drink. If you add local raw honey to it during the wintertime, you can't wait till the springtime. It will help your allergies, and that's a natural remedy for allergies. So keep that in mind. Natural, local. Make sure it's local. If you can find local raw honey, that's the best. Because it's whatever, when your allergies kick in, your allergies are kicking in or being irritated by the local, allergens in the air or whatever. So, so just a few healthy tips we want to add in there.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So, and then just another addition to the politics portion for the school board. So we talked about the city council District 10 seat.
Right.
And if there's something we missed there, if there's other positions that are available or other people who are having to run, please let us know. But for the school board, for 2024, terms end for District 1, which is Miss Hughley Green. District 5, which is Miss McRae. District 3, which is Miss Jackson. District 7, which is Mrs. Frey, Pat Frey. I worked, I subbed in the schools.
Right.
My children go to school in the schools. I see the differences, the disparities from school to school. And it's all about leadership. It's about leadership. It's about the tone that they set for those schools. And some schools, the expectations are really low. And some schools, they have money for days to do and spend on whatever they want to spend it on, while some schools are roach infested.
Right.
And teachers, and I'm speaking from experience, have to sit and roaches crawl across their desks. You can't keep a cup of something to drink on there safely without worrying about roaches crawling across it. You can't move anything without roaches crawling all over the place. Infested, dirty, and just not to the same standard as some of the other schools. And I'm sorry, under the same school district, in the same city, that should not be correct. It should not be okay. It should not be okay whatsoever.
Right, I agree. And it's not going to change again until we change it. So we can't complain and expect somebody else to come in and do for us what we can do for ourselves. So until we change it, that's what we're going to keep getting. Poor schools, poor health care, poor housing, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a vicious cycle, but it's going to continue until we change it. And every time we spend our dollars outside of our community, it makes our community poorer and poorer. So we just want to, continue to campaign and advocate, supporting African American businesses, the importance of uniting, the importance of organizing, the importance of coming together so we can change the situation that we're in.
And supporting teachers.
Right.
Please. You know, it's not enough, and this is another thing, to show up when it's good.
That's right.
To say hello every now and then. It's not enough to do that. They need help every day. Now, I will tell you, at any middle school, every morning, there's gentlemen on the outside of that school.
Right.
They got the music going, and they're waving, and they're giving out masks, and they're loving on those children, and they're loving on the parents who come through. Absolutely amazing.
Right.
They are consistently showing up every day. So for candidates who show up when it's time to run for a race, but they have no idea what's going on in that school outside of that, it's time out for all of that.
Yeah.
And if you can volunteer your time, and if you can support a teacher, support a teacher. I spent a lot of money, my own money, and I would do it all over again. I absolutely loved working at Eddy Middle School. I transformed my classroom because I wanted my students to experience something different. I absolutely loved it. Teachers need your support. Students need your support.
That's right.
But this is the thing for me. They don't just need any kind of support. They need a standard. They need to be challenged. They need something to rise up to. We can't be calling them dog and shorty and bro and all kind of foolery and thinking we're providing a role model status for them, right, or challenging them to be better than what they are. We have to be the adults. We have to be the role models. And that's a concern for me. Yes, we got to love them. Yes, we got to meet them where they are. But at the same time, we have to challenge them to rise higher than where they are. That's the whole purpose for everybody.
Right.
We should never be stagnant. We should never settle. We should never be mediocre. We should never be average. We should constantly be striving for excellence. And in doing that, there's a different type of level that we have to be on. Calling little girls shawty and all kind of names and stuff like that, when you need to call them by their first name. Dog to boys. I mean, how are we setting them up for success when I understand we may be trying to be their friends, or we may be trying to build rapport, or, you know, build a relationship. Right. But we can build relationships and also set an example for them and challenge them. And
set healthy boundaries.
Yes,
for them.
Yes, to learn and to be better or to be different, to be well-rounded so that they're successful. Because you can't go into a job interview, last I checked, calling somebody bro or dog. You know, so I don't feel like that terminology or communication is appropriate for children that are learning and needing to learn, you know, how to be successful young adults.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if you're a pillar in the community, if you are an entrepreneur, and if you're not, but if you want to volunteer in the school system, especially in our community, and go help with, you know, students giving out masks in the morning, or if you want to be a speaker, you know, get in contact with these principals, assistant principals. I'm sure they will be more than happy to have you come speak to their children, come speak to their classes, or volunteer wherever you can. So definitely do that if you can.
Yeah, and I was so proud and so happy to have people from the community that operate in excellence, that's doing great things in the community come so the students can have an example. We had Gloria Strode. She has her own television show.
Right.
We had Mrs.
Shout out to Gloria Strode.
Yes, beautiful lady. And she came on her birthday.
Right.
She did not have to do that.
Right.
She came on her birthday. We had a wonderful time. We had Miss Joanne Hill, who came twice.
That's right.
She gave those babies $50. She challenged them to make all A's. And I had 3 students to do it. And I had students working hard to get up there, getting C's up to B's. She challenged them. She set an example for them. And they rose to the occasion. Also had NAACP Miss Tonza Thomas come out.
Right.
So it is so important. Men too. We had men come out, you know, to talk and speak to the young people. It's so important. Like, you don't have to wait for an invitation. These are public schools. If you have something to offer, please contact the schools. Get on a schedule or come out and visit. Volunteer. Show up, because when I tell you it's needed, it's needed.
Right.
It's needed.
I agree.
And it's appreciated too. It's very much appreciated. I absolutely loved having, you know, people come out and speak to the children and spend time in the classroom, and they loved it too, because they need to be able to see something outside of the environment that they're currently seeing every day. They need to have something to dream about and to
Right.
aspire to be. And we have excellent people in our community who can give them that dream or that perspective.
Right.
So, yes.
Right. Okay, some good stuff right there.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to say, please, 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 please keep Pops Barnes and his wife and their
Yes.
family in your thoughts. We heard they're not doing too well, especially his wife, so I'm not sure if y'all know them, but definitely keep
District 1
City Council member Pops Barnes and his family in your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure I put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's it for politics.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I want to transition into what we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
which is using the word to refer to our people as black or Negro. So, me personally, I don't refer to myself as black. I'm African. I'm of African ancestry. They call us African Americans, but you mostly hear people refer to themselves or refer to us as black.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I don't consider myself, I don't acknowledge being called black whatsoever, because black is not a culture. There's no history behind black. As a matter of fact,
It doesn't have a location.
Right.
It doesn't come from anything
Whatsoever.
Yeah, you're gonna give the definition of what it means.
So we took that title and we ran with it. That title was given to us as an insult. That title was given to us not to represent us in a good light.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I did a little research, and this is what I came up with, and I just want to read what the true definition of black is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that our community and our culture will definitely start referring to ourselves as African or African American and get away from black.
Now, before you get there,
or
because
Negro.
people will be quick to say, I ain't African, I ain't never been over there. Or they will say, what's the other?
That's mostly the main
Mostly
one.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not African, I've never been over
they've never
there.
been over there.
So then that leaves American.
Right.
So I think as a culture, we need to figure it out, because black is not it.
I figured it out, but go ahead.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, honey. As a culture,
Yeah.
black is not it, and neither is minority.
That's
There's
another
such a negative connotation to both of those, and we take it and we run with it. They call us a minority, and then we got minority, black owned this, or minority. We're not a minority.
Say it.
And again, to reiterate, black is nothing. It comes from nothing. Everybody in this country, in this nation, can trace back their roots,
Right.
whether it be French,
Italian,
Italian,
European,
Asian, Hispanic, Native American, whatever.
Black
But
is nowhere in there.
that we are so like just self-hate that we don't even want to accept African. I'm not African.
But that
I'm
was
not
put.
those people.
That was made to be a negative connotation.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, especially in the '80s, I remember they would always show. They would always try to paint this picture or this narrative that, you know, we came from the jungle, or
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Tarzan.
they show these sad pictures of people starving on TV.
Yes, yes.
So they want us to associate that with Africa
and make us feel bad about ourselves.
Right.
And all the while, California by itself is homeless, is out of control.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, people, you know, they don't talk about that in school. So when they want to teach about something that's negative and that's poor and that's bad, they take us to Africa. However, right here in the United States, in the state of California alone, and we have homelessness here in Columbus, Georgia, especially where we're now at here in New York. It's bad. So how in the world do you have the audacity to point the finger or highlight something else going on in another country that you took advantage of, you colonized,
right,
and took all the resources or contribute to taking the resources from,
right,
and not start right here in your own house?
Right.
I've lived in California. It is a horrible sight to see the amount of people that are homeless in tent cities and people just living, you know, they don't have anything.
Right. So we're talking about hypocrisy here.
Yeah.
We're talking about propaganda.
Yeah.
We're talking about that American flag not meaning to us what it means to somebody else.
Right.
It doesn't mean that for us.
Right.
So when people were jumping on Colin Kaepernick's back about kneeling, this man was kneeling because of things that are affecting our community.
Right.
And he was kneeling because of the hypocrisy of what the flag is supposed to stand for, but doesn't.
And that flag means more to these American people
who want to make America great again
than we do.
Right.
That flag means more than we do.
Right. But let me read this real quick for y'all. Just a few definitions of the word black. Mm-hmm. So black is an achromatic color, meaning it has no hue and is the result of the absorption of all or nearly all light. Mm. It can be described as having the dark color of coal or the night sky or having no light. Black is often used figuratively or symbolically to represent darkness. Synonyms of black when used to describe color include sable, raven, and inky. So that's one definition.
Yeah, that's nice.
The next definition says, black, of the very darkest color, owing to the absence of or complete absorption of light, the opposite of white, black smoke, belonging to or denoting a human group having dark colored skin, especially of sub-Saharan African ancestry. Another one says, deeply stained. Black can also mean deeply stained with dirt, soiled, filthy, or begrimed. For example, black factory chimneys. So again, all of those negative things that are associated with black, they use to represent us, or they use to associate with us. So that's why I don't recognize black whatsoever when it comes to our people. And we have Black History, mm-hmm. We have Black Wall Street.
Yes.
The list goes on and on. So, you know, we're campaigning.
It's convenient, but it's not right.
Right. We're because we were given that, just like we were given a lot of other things when we were forced and brought to this country. Mm-hmm. That stamp was put on us, and we're still using that today. So we got to take again, you know, we always talk about the chains being removed from our ankles and our wrists. Mm-hmm. They're now on our brains. And how they are put on our brains is the way we still think, based on how we were taught to think. So we got to change our mindset when it comes to our people.
And we don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept it.
So,
and then let me tell you this too. One of my favorite scholars, Dr. John Henrik Clarke.
Right, one of our favorite scholars.
Well, it was mine first.
Okay.
Okay. So he broke it down so clearly. Our origin, for most of us, because I can't speak for everybody, I don't have all the answers, but the origin for most of us is Africa. And we were dropped off in different places. So you have African people in South America. You have African people in Jamaica. You have African people in Barbados. You have African people here in the United States. Wherever we were dropped off as slaves, we adapted to that culture. So then you have people in Haiti who are French and African, they speak Creole. You have people in South America, I mean beautiful people from Venezuela, Brazil. They look like us. Panama,
Puerto Rico.
They look like us, but they speak Spanish. Okay? We were dropped off in America. We speak English. But we all came from the same place. And what drilled that home for me personally is when I went to Barbados, there's a Speightstown. That's my dad's name, my maiden name. So I'm like, oh, I was like feeling like, oh, okay. You know, like maybe I know where we came from a little bit. But as I done my history, I did my research, okay, the slave master with the last name Speight's came from the UK. Owned plantations in Barbados. Called it Speightstown. That belonged to him. The slaves, the African people that he brought over and dropped off there to work his sugar cane fields,
right,
belonged to him. So that last name Speight's is not African. So from Barbados, they came on through down to South America and trickled on down to Florida. And that's where my family, from what I understand, is from. That's at least where my dad is from. So we don't have last names. We don't know our origins. But we allow people, and I think that's the reason why. It's because we don't know. We allow people to give us labels. We allow them to tell us what we should call ourselves,
right,
because we don't have a place of origin to really begin to know who and exactly where we came from. But I say all that to say that we did come from somewhere, most of us, which is Africa. And we were dropped off in different places. And as a result of wherever we were dropped off, we adapted to those cultures. So you got Spanish-speaking African-American people that look, the first time I realized that was in the Army. Guy, look, he's got my same complexion. He's speaking Spanish. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking he's African-American. I would have said, at that age, I would have said black. And he's from Panama. Got my same complexion. Could pass for being African-American. But his first language is Spanish.
Right. So
Yeah.
colonization was real.
Yeah.
And the effects of it is still here today.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We got a lot to learn. We got a lot of work to do. We have settled and we have become comfortable, and we have taken on labels that mean nothing.
Right. And again, only we can change the narrative. Only we can change our situation. Only we can change our community and our culture. So, you know, I don't know if y'all watch the Grammys. Put in the chat if you watch the Grammys. But Jay-Z got up there and was complaining that Beyonce didn't win. I think he was saying Album of the Year. She never won Album of the Year. But again, the Grammys are not for us. If you go back and look in the 80s, they used to refer to certain artists in their category as black artists or black music or black songs. But it was not, again, they're not for us. So every time we complain about something, we have to look at who we're complaining to.
Yeah.
We're complaining against somebody who doesn't care about us.
Yeah.
We're complaining to somebody who doesn't see us as equal.
They profit off of what we bring to the table,
Ooh.
but they don't care about the source of what's bringing or who's bringing it to the table.
Say that one more time.
They profit.
Ooh.
Off of what's being brought to the table. Everything about this nation was built on the backs of our ancestors.
And if that don't wake you up, nothing will. That right there alone. This nation was built off the backs of our ancestors. And still is.
Yes.
It still is.
Yes, we make the world go round here with our music and with our creativity and with our clothing. Everything.
Right. We set the trends.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch the Super Bowl Sunday, when they do these commercials, just look or listen to how many songs from our community that are in these commercials.
Yeah.
Usher's doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
So, just be mindful.
That's to bring us in.
Just to be mindful, be mindful of we're continuing to be used for their profit.
Yes, they're getting the coins.
Right.
They're getting the coins.
Right. And they use Jay-Z. They use Jay-Z to come in to be over these halftime shows.
Yes.
But he's at the Grammys complaining that his wife can't get Grammy. Beyonce won nothing. When was the Grammys? 2 days ago, yesterday?
Yeah.
But yeah, so until we change it, it's not going to change. So we can't go to somebody else's house, go to somebody else's front porch and complain about something that's happening on their front porch. This is their house.
And
we gotta worry about our own house.
And I'm glad you brought up the porch, because what's the movie that we watched? Something in Saturday in Miami. It was with Malcolm X.
Yeah, I think it was 4 Nights in Miami. Put in the comments if you know the movie we're talking about, where it was Sam Cooke, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and it was one more person. It was 4 of them.
Muhammad Ali.
Was it Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that movie, the young man in there, he was the football player.
Jim Brown, he played Jim Brown's character.
Yeah, so he was the football player. He went to visit this man.
From his neighborhood.
The man was so nice. Come on, have a seat.
Let me get you some lemonade.
Yeah, sit on the porch, talk with him. Sit on the porch, talk with him. And then the lady on the inside said she needed his help with something. And
needed her husband's help.
Her husband's help, which was a Caucasian gentleman.
Moving some furniture or whatever.
Yes. And so the guy, the African-American man he was sitting on the porch with,
Jim Brown,
offered to help, to serve, to help. And the man looked at him just as clear and just as boldly and says, we do not allow niggers in the house.
Just as plain, just as pleasant look on his face, like he didn't say anything wrong, but he just reminded him.
Yes.
You're not allowed in the house.
And there are so many things that's going on in this United States, in this Columbus, Georgia, that reminds us.
Ooh, that was good. Ooh, that was good.
That we're not welcome.
We ain't allowed in the house.
We're not allowed in the house.
So you can complain all you want to. You can cry. Taraji P. Shout out to Taraji P. Henson. So Taraji, if you're watching this is not a slight against you. We're just simply saying we got to take care of our own. You ain't allowed in the house. So you can complain to them all you want about inequality and not being paid this and not being paid your worth, but they don't see you as equal. And they're going to keep reminding us that they don't see us as equal.
And another thing is that in this city, we would prefer to vote others in to be in charge of us. So I honestly feel like we have a plantation mentality still.
And we do.
They're at the top. When we go into these places in Georgia, we're predominantly African American city. It's us working. But it's us voting.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah, and that part don't make sense to me.
Again, we're not in the studio. We're still trying to, make it happen. So
that part don't make sense to me. And a lot of it is because we don't get out and vote. We don't actually vote. So then that's how we lose numbers. But some of it is, we would prefer to have the other in an office over us. I don't understand that.
Right. But again, unless we change it, it's not going to change. So, we love Wakanda. If we really want Wakanda, we got to do our part to bring Wakanda into fruition or to make it a reality. So,
One Night in Miami, that's what it was called.
That's it.
Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
Now, didn't Columbus, Georgia have a famous football player who played for Ohio or for Cleveland?
We had several.
Yeah, I remember as an intern with the Columbus Times, going with Miss G to their house, and he was a famous football player.
Okay.
I remember. I can't remember. I feel like, I don't know, where's Jim Brown from?
Jim Brown.
Is he from Georgia?
No. Jim
Okay.
Brown is, I can't remember where Jim Brown is from.
Yeah, so somebody, I'm going to have to look that up. But yeah, somebody's house we went to, famous football player, and right out of Columbus. So Columbus has a lot to offer.
And some rich history.
It is the third largest city. It used to be the second when I first got here. It's the third largest city. It's predominantly African American.
That's right.
And we really need to, you know.
But the leaders in Columbus are predominantly Caucasian.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
again, right now.
School board.
Right. So this is what I want to do. I want to start a hashtag stop. Stop shopping with the other man and start shopping with the brother man. Stop supporting the other man, start supporting the brother man. So put in the chat, hashtag stop. And that's what we need to campaign that every day, 365, 24/7. Stop.
And I want to challenge as well is that when we encounter young people or adults who are rude and who the customer service is poor, if we know better, then we show them better. Then we communicate in a nice way, a better way to handle things. Maybe they'll be receptive, maybe they won't. But if we keep allowing things to just go, they're going to continue to be bad. And if we don't respond, not react, but if we don't respond in a way to show them a better example, it's going to be this continuous cycle of foolishness.
Right. So we can talk till we're blue in the face, and we're blue in the face right now.
No.
Yeah. But that's not going to stop us. You know what I mean?
Okay,
because,
okay.
you know, if you really care about the community, you know, you're going to keep pushing, you're going to keep campaigning, you're going to keep, you know, bringing awareness to these issues that affect our community. So, you know, again, it's not going to change until we change it. Period.
Right.
Point blank.
Right. And we have some passionate people out here.
We do.
We have some passionate people who have expressed that they're tired of people getting in office and forgetting about the citizens who put them there, who aren't answering phone calls, who aren't returning emails, who aren't even allowing for appointments. That's unprofessional to me. And, you know, busy doing what?
Right.
Doing what? Because professionalism requires that at least 24 hours you respond to inquiries. It also requires that you have a system in place, whether it be weekly, monthly, quarterly meetings where you meet with the people who voted you in and you understand what they want and what they need. It also requires that you have a appointment system in place. Set it to your convenience and your needs. Put the hours that you're going to make available for people to be able to say, hey, I need an appointment, and show up. That's basic 101 professionalism. And it is lacking even in those people who are sitting in high places.
Right.
And it's unacceptable.
Right. And let me just read the statistics one more time. I finally pulled it up for the rejection of reparations. People who don't want us to have reparations. So at the top is the Hispanic community. No, they're not at the top. I'm sorry. At the top is the Caucasian or white community.
Right.
80% are against reparations.
Right.
Then we have, they did a collective research that says 68% of all U.S. adults are not in favor of reparations. And then you have the Asian community. 65% of the Asian community does not want us to have reparations. So think about all the beauty supply stores in your neighborhood that you frequent.
Yes.
Give them your money.
And they don't want to support you.
They don't want you to have.
They don't care about what you went through or none of that. They just want your money.
That's it. That's all.
Go ahead, honey. Keep going. That's the Asian community. What's the next one?
Yeah, so, and that's it. So
no,
the
but you said
community,
the Asian people, they predominantly supply our beauty supply stuff, right?
Right.
And our nail shops.
Right.
What's the other group?
Hispanic community.
Hispanic. Well, what we eat at their restaurants.
Right.
What else? That's about it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They do a lot of construction, building homes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're putting money in their pockets.
Right.
We're fueling their dreams. You know, we're building their income, and they could care less about us. Who's next? Who's next?
The Caucasian or white community, which is the majority. They're 80%. So
yeah, your Christmas, your Easter, your 4th of July,
Come on.
all of these holidays where you are spending billions of dollars. Black people, African American people are at the top in spending for these holidays.
That's right.
You're making them rich, and guess what? They don't even have enough respect or empathy to feel as if you deserve survival benefits. That's what I want to call them.
Right, and think about this. Who can blame them for taking care of their own?
Yeah.
We don't take care of our own. That's the issue. We need to start taking care of our own. So you can't blame somebody else for taking care of their community, but we got to take care of our own. They shouldn't be able to come to our community, get money here, get money there.
The Indian people, they're not on here.
They're not on here. They're not on here. Maybe we'll update it, but as for now, they're not on here.
Yeah, our gas stations, we're giving them our gas money. They're in our neighborhoods over here, giving our kids what you call those vapes and anything and everything else that they're not supposed to have.
So they will be included in this where it says all U.S. adults.
Okay.
68% are not in favor of reparations.
Yes.
So the proof is in the pudding. Jay-Z said men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
That's right.
So, you know, it's the proof is in the pudding.
And what are we going to do as a community?
The people have spoken, as they say.
Yes. What are we going to do as a community? Because we can't do it by ourselves. Lip service is not going to accomplish anything. And the way that Martin Luther King was successful with that boycott is because you hit him in the coins. You hit them in the pockets.
That's where it's at right there.
And every year, y'all are feeling, and I say y'all because I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate any of these holidays that's going to fill their pockets. I do not.
And if you haven't seen our episodes or our show on celebrating Christmas and the education of, New Year's and Christmas and these different holidays, go check those out. We'll put that in the link. We'll put a link so y'all can have access to go check those videos out.
And it's not an emotional thing. It's not a mean thing. It's a business thing. It's exactly the way they think.
Right. It's
because
economics.
They're not supporting. They're not supporting us
at all. At all. They'll get a bag in the community and then go back and use it to prosper their community. Mm-hmm. So every time we spend money outside of the community, and every time we allow them to come to our community and spend money with them, our community is becoming poorer and poorer, and their community is becoming richer and richer.
And richer. And every time we do not open a business and we allow them to open a business and then we work for them, we have babies out here right now who have went to school, earned degrees, spent 4 years in college, and they can't even pay all of their own bills. And they're 26 and 27 living at home. Parents still having to contribute because they don't make enough to pay for a car, rent, insurance, groceries, and just the basics.
Right.
We have to do better. And that comes with just being open-minded to what's really going on. And not, I got mine and I'm good and I'm not worried about anybody else.
Exactly. So we can leave it there if you want to leave it there. Unless you have.
I feel like it was something else I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
But I can't remember. But we're in New York. We're in New York for people who are just joining us, and so that's why we're not in studio and everything looks a little bit different today. But we want to be consistent with making sure that we do Wednesdays and Sunday evenings with
make sure y'all get this good content
with our content and our podcast. And again, I did see emails in the thing, so we'll make sure we add you to the email so that you can get these events and it's all in one place, because we don't want to have to keep searching all over the place to support our people when we can have it in just one central location.
Right.
Yes. So I just want to make sure we register to vote by February 12th.
Right.
Also, make sure you learn about your candidates. I'm going to put the information that we found in the comment section of this podcast.
Right. Make sure you know who's over your district.
Yes, for school as well as city council.
Right.
Let's do more about supporting one another. And so this is what that looks like. Yes, I know this person may have a bad attitude, or yes, I go here and I don't feel like I get the correct customer service. Let's take it a step further, and let's mentor, and let's coach, and let's be a role model to those people. And guess what? They may not receive it. They may not like it, but we have to do something. And I'll tell you, I was at Burger King once, and the little girl, the attitude was horrible. And so when I got to the window, now I'm not always this good. Sometimes I just need Jesus. I'm like, oh my God. But I said, did I have a bad attitude, or did I do something wrong? And she says, no. She's like, it was me. I'm having a bad day, this, that, and the third. But it was just to have that conversation, to let her know that, hey, I felt like, wow, the customer service was poor. And then just to be human. She was having a bad day. Now, I come from a generation of folk that, if you're having a bad day, you have to leave that at the door. When you show up to work, you're at work. And you have to be in a work mood.
Right.
Today, we don't get that. We get however you feel, whatever is going on, that's what's being, spewed out. And so I think if we just reach out and touch in a loving and kind way, set an example, respond appropriately, then maybe we can, one by one, work on, because I'm not just saying this, you're not just saying this, people are having the conversation that we don't want to support one another in business because of bad attitudes or poor customer service.
Right.
So we got to work on it. We got to work on it.
Right.
We got to work on it. It was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember.
That's okay. I just want to say real quick, rest in power to Carl Weathers.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I don't know, he just passed away, I think, a day ago or 2 days ago. But he, he's famous for Rocky movies. He played Apollo Creed, which is why you have Creed now with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
But rest in power. He did so much in the community. He represented us as an actor. And from what I could tell, he always showed up in excellence and was, held to a high standard when it came to being in that entertainment industry. So, again, rest in peace to our brother Carl Weathers. And, keep his family in your thoughts.
Yes, forever with us. Now, remember what I had to say. Can I say it?
This is candid.
Okay.
Keep it candid.
Okay. So there's news going on social media. Okay. This young person I believe he's in school, and maybe the parent is a news person or whatever. So when we're all subscribed, most of us are subscribed to that Facebook page, and everything about it is negative. Murders, arson, robbery, shootings, everything about it is negative, and it looks like us. Okay? And it's popular, and it's got, a lot of followers and a lot of people watching it. Okay? I suggested to this young person a news story that was positive. My assistant principal, African-American woman, has been a teacher for over 20 years, and I'm being modest when I say that. She received a proclamation for assistant principal week or day or whatever. I ask that we share this for positive African-American news. The young person told me that he could share it on some kind of private community page, but he didn't want to share it on that page. Later, I see that he's sharing positive news with somebody that doesn't look like us about real estate business.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So when it looks like us, it's all negative. Everything that's going wrong in the city. Killing, homicides, robbery, this person's going to jail, and we're eating it up. I suggested something positive, to highlight something positive. A teacher that shows up, not a teacher, a principal, teacher first, but a principal that shows up every day, works her job plus others, receiving recognition from the city mayor. That needed to go on a private page. But I turn around and a realtor, and maybe she paid for it, or maybe she's a friend of the family, but it's positive news that don't look like us that was allowed to get on that page.
Right.
But not positive news that does look like us. We got to do better.
That's right.
We got to do better, because the young man has a lot of following, and he has a lot of following because of us. And what he's posting is negative.
Right.
All of it about us is negative. So I just want to put that out there. Right. I thought it was very interesting for this young man he is getting rich, or he is getting whatever from posting negative news about us. Anything that's going on negative is mostly about us on that page. Right. But when suggested something positive to share, he would not do that. He said it had to go on some other kind of page.
Right.
However, for another Caucasian person, their real estate business, that was allowed to go on that page.
So, yeah.
I hope I'm being very clear and candid in what I'm trying to communicate with that.
Right, and it speaks volumes, but again, like we said, we can't go to them and expect them to help us or do anything for us. Mm-hmm. So until we do it for ourselves or change it for ourselves, it's not going to change.
We don't need this person to report negative news. We don't need to follow it. We don't need to support it.
I agree.
We don't.
I agree.
So it's that part for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I just want to do a quick little recap and basically give out a few shout outs. Mm-hmm. and again, continue to support us, continue to support African American businesses, whether large or small. Shout out to Netta's, shout out to Rogers Cafe.
Yes.
Shout out to Role Model Academy.
Yes.
Shout out to the Fatherhood Group, Tri-City Fatherhood Group.
Yes.
Shout out to
As He Leads, Lakita Ash.
As He Leads.
Yes.
Shout out to Larry's Beauty and Barber Supply in Columbus.
Shout out to our educators.
That's right.
Shout out to our assistant principals and our principals. Listen, I've had some wonderful leaders, and I'm proud of Dr. Crooks. I was very proud to work for her. Proud for Dr. White. He was my mentor while I was there.
Shout out Dr. Dre.
Yes, yeah. Excellent educator. Excellent educator.
Right.
Excellent leader. He's doing great things at MLK.
That's right.
And of course, Dr. Crooks is at Eddy Middle School.
Right. And for y'all that are older, that's Winterfield. Before it was MLK, but formerly it was Winterfield Elementary. Yeah, so.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to give our people their flowers. We're not talking about just celebrities. We want to give our local heroes and leaders and pillars in the community, give them their flowers.
Yes.
So.
And, again, I speak from experience. I was at Eddy Middle School my first year, shootings. Somebody passed by shooting up, outside.
Right. Dr.
Crooks, it takes strength to show up every day. And to walk all outside, she is not ever afraid. Walk all outside, and those students respect her. Make sure they're getting where they need to go and being where they want to do, what they're doing what they're supposed to do. But she is an unsung hero in this Muskogee County School District.
Right.
And, it don't sit well with me. But I just want to publicly say she is an absolutely wonderful, excellent, lead from the front assistant principal.
Shout out again to Dr. Crooks.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Stunix.
Yeah.
And Jamisa and her husband and the great things they're doing. Yeah. And Jamisa, y'all please put in the comment section. So Stunix, for y'all that don't know, it's an acronym.
Yes.
So please, Jamisa, y'all put in the comments what Student stands for, and also put your information and your website and everything in the comments so people can, patronize y'all and get some merch. And we'll be wearing some of that fly merch on the show.
Yes.
When we get a chance.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out to what was the other place? Shout out to Overflow and the Rileys. Shout out to there was another business. But we're not gonna hold y'all. But yeah, support our own. Hashtag for us, by us.
Yes.
Hashtag unity. Hashtag stop.
Yes.
Hashtag candid conversation.
Yes.
And can you go ahead and please let the people know we need maybe 20 to 34 more subscribers on YouTube so we can start going live on YouTube. So please share, like, subscribe, share.
Yes.
And give them the name of our platform again because we're transitioning on YouTube.
Candid Conversation.
So go to Candid Conversation on YouTube, like,
and
share,
you'll
subscribe.
receive emails from Candid Productions.
So yeah.
That's us. Candid Productions is where you'll receive your community events and everything that's going on in the community.
So yeah.
And speaking of community events, when we have community events, like it really needs to be clear. Okay, so when you say guests are allowed, that means, what does that mean? Okay.
Right.
What exactly does that mean?
Right.
Because even after it was addressed, I still seen a flyer that said, whatever. So we have to be clear. If it's not open to the public, then when you say guests, you need to be specific on exactly what guests you mean
now
are allowed.
So when you saying that, what are you?
You want me to be candid?
Well, I just want to make sure I'm tracking.
Right. So we have a lot of, community meetings here.
Okay, there it is.
Discussing the same thing.
Our issues.
Yeah, the same thing.
Our community.
And some people are invited and some people aren't, which is fine. But when you are talking to the public and you say guests are welcome, and then guests show up, and then but you're not welcome, we just need clarity on what is what.
I don't feel like they're tracking. Well, I don't feel like the message is clear.
Honey, you tracking.
I am, but I'm not. So, so is this along the same lines of when we went to Cure Violence? Is that what you're saying?
So Cure Violence was the network empowerment, right? That was great. Everybody's open and welcome to come to that.
Okay.
However, I think, with that situation, I think the time they had it during the day at like 10 o'clock or something like that.
Right, and put in the comments if you did hear about it.
If you knew about it. So they had it at 10 o'clock, and so a lot of people are working, so you're not going to get full participation because people are working during that time. However, the people that organize or that work and get paid to be there were there, which outranked the people that needed to be there.
Again, we got to show up.
Yes.
And shout out to Reggie Lewis, who's over Cure Violence.
Did an excellent job.
Right. Shout out to my brother Shakur and John Henry Clark Council.
And they have some events coming up.
Right.
Too. I'm excited to go to as well.
Right.
Yes.
So, but we'll keep y'all posted on all of that.
Yes. So that was that, but that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about we went to the Emancipation Proclamation service, and there's a meeting that they have every month.
Oh, okay. So now I'm tracking.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a meeting that they have every month on the first Friday, and so the meeting says it starts at 10, and it was announced that it could guests could come. So is it 10 o'clock? Business meeting, and then 11 o'clock community can come in? Because again, on the flyers, when I checked out the page, it did not specify. Now, I do know what the gentleman told me, but as a community, in order for us to come together, in order for us to be on the same sheet of music, the communication has to be clear.
That's right.
So if it's a business meeting or if it's just for clergy and it's not for laymen or common folk, then please be clear about that.
Not laymen.
Hey.
But yeah. So shout out to Reverend Flakes.
And his scattered remarks. We love it.
Right.
We love it. We love it. He talked a lot of great things. He mentioned very important principles. Speaking truth to power.
Right.
As well as bringing up the Willie Lynch syndrome,
Right.
which is another a deep dive we need to do on a Sunday.
Right. And again, put in the comments, different topics that y'all want to hear and that y'all want to discuss. So, that can help the channel grow and they can help us as a community grow as we continue to have these conversations and these discussions.
It's about education, it's about awareness, and it's about action. It's about taking steps, not just moving past lip service, not just talking, but coming together and, strategizing and figuring out how we're going to make some things change.
Right.
In the right direction.
That's right.
And we unapologetically, we can't be afraid, and we can't be worried about. And that's the biggest thing for me, for Christian folk, for people with faith. We quick to say all things are possible. Faith without works is dead. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, we fall back, and our faith is not where it needs to be. Our trust is not where it needs to be. And we're relying on the resources as opposed to the sources. The source. Let's put it that way, the source. Okay, I think I'm done, honey.
Okay. Well, again, we appreciate y'all. Thank you for your support. We appreciate the family being in the building. Brooklyn, stand up.
Well, I don't know about no Brooklyn. I'm from Florida.
You didn't let me finish. We in Brooklyn right now. Columbus, stand up.
Florida, stand up.
Florida, stand up. Yeah.
Columbus, Georgia, stand up.
We are in the building.
Yes.
Representing for New York Fashion Week 2024.
Yay!
So yeah, we'll try to make sure we get y'all that content of footage of the fashion show.
Yes.
So y'all can check that out.
Yes. And listen, if you know Lakeitha Ash, send her some love, send her some support.
That's right.
This is a big deal.
It is.
And what I've shared is like it transcends the idea of fashion. Do you know how many of our ancestors were denied this opportunity? She is standing on some shoulders, honey.
Right. And
She
showing
is,
out.
Yes, in a big way. And not like she could have came to New York and she could have had her pick of models. But she chose ladies right there in the Columbus area.
That's right.
So this is a big deal for them as well.
And shout out to the models who are a part of the show.
Yes,
Shout out to them who are doing big things.
Yes, it's one thing to do like little community fashion shows and little church fashion shows. It's another to be selected to represent a designer and all the way in New York for millions and millions of people to see.
Right.
Yes.
So let's keep that same energy.
Shout out to Miss Lakeitha Ash.
Right. And
her husband.
right?
Yes, her husband who's supporting her, and her son and her children. Like, she is a mom, she's a wife, she's a business owner, and just this is unreal to just see her dreams come true. She started this in high school, sewing, learning how to sew. Home ec, was that what it used to be called?
Home ec, right?
Yeah. And look where she's at.
Right.
This is amazing.
For those that are watching, never give up on your dreams. I know it sounds cliche, but never give up. Keep striving. A seed has to grow. It takes time for a seed to become a tree, or a seed to become fruit. It takes time. So
and let me break it down how our mentor would break it down. You don't get pregnant and today and then tomorrow, where's the baby at?
Right.
It's 9 months.
Come on with it.
9 months.
Come on.
And that's with anything, any gestation period, right? For any type of fruit or seed. right? It takes time
Right.
for it to come to fruition. So don't give up on your dreams. Continue to water your dreams. Continue to sow into your dreams. Take care of your dreams.
Right. Right. You don't seep and you don't reap and sow at the same time. So
no.
Yeah, we can leave it there if you want to leave it there.
Okay.
But yeah. So again, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate the love and support.
Yes.
Like, share, go to YouTube, check out Candid Conversation.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Our webpage as well. We have a webpage. We have a Facebook page group,
Right.
and then we have our YouTube page.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes.
To tell a friend.
Share your events. Share your emails so we can add you to our email list. And it's absolutely free. It's just, it's organizing what we have going on in the city so you can find it in one place. And y'all can help us do that if you share. Because it's crazy having to go from one Facebook page to another Facebook page trying to figure out what's going on in the community so we can support,
Right.
And right now we're creating somewhere where you can just have it in one place.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah. So we appreciate y'all.
Yay! In our kitchen part of our hotel.
That's right. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thanks for the support. Yeah. So peace and love. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. And we will see y'all next time. Candid Conversation. Not popular,
but important.
There it is.
Candid.
We'll see y'all next time.
Yes.